The devil's in the detail, lingered inside. Oh, a holy crime. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Going wrong like nonsense.
Live, yeah, now we're live, So welcome.
Two, and he's 7/10 clear of Jeffrey already, so that is quite a big thing in itself, I think, with 6 minutes to go in qualifying.
Yeah, I mean, there's still 6 minutes, and it seems there's still some drivers without a time. Maith, Storm. I remember you saying yesterday that you saw Maith as probably candidate for the win, or at least to be high up in the table. Do you still have that optimism?
Well, he hasn't been out on a lap just yet. I think he's going to be waiting for the latter stages of qualifying. But Mays, I think, could definitely do a good job on track. Looking at some of the lap times, I mean, we're in the 110s for most of the field. Mays, I think, can easily get into the 109s, maybe even beat his teammate. Big interest in that. Tekken is on the lap, though, in the meantime. The Racing Point just coming through turns 5, 6 and 7. Not looking too bad so far as he comes toward the end of the first sector. Let's see what this Racing Point man can do. Of course, our winner last time out in Vietnam. Oh, a little bit of hesitation coming through turn 7. He's 300ths down. Now through turn 8 and through turn 9. Got to be very careful on the curve there. Not to overspeed and not to overrun the corner. Now Tekken coming around the final 2 corners. Final 2 corners? Turn number 10, this is. Towards turns 11 and 12. Goodness me, I'm losing the plot already. 8,000's down, Tekken, but it's a purple middle sector, which is quite intriguing. And now Tekken coming through the middle sector of Vanderlei and NSL Storm to the left-hand side there. Tekken now coming around the final 2 corners through 13 and 14. You can see the camber cut away. What is Tekken going to set? Is he going to improve in this final sector? It looks like he is going to. Tekken coming across the line. Goes second, wow. 109.5, found all of that time in the final sector. 4.5 tenth improvement, goes second, and he's 3 tenths off Paul, his closest championship rival.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see that he didn't have ERS at the end of the lap, so that probably can still, if he's able to manage ERS better, that could probably be a better time.
Yeah, definitely, and I think obviously with the tyres as well, most of these guys in the early stages, when I was recording on a little video that I was doing, they were all on a set of mediums. So we've seen the switch from a set of mediums to a set of softs. And Tekken was one of those drivers, I think, who did qualify on a set of softs and then went for a fresher set of softs. So he's gone second, obviously, with that lap time. Zero is 4th. He's had a good lap time out on track. But the main man, I think, to watch here tonight is probably Paul and Tekken, to be honest. I don't think the top 2 can be beaten at this stage.
Yeah, I mean, they showed it last week that they were quite strong, and to be honest, yeah, it's difficult to see any other driver to be up there with them. Although it's interesting because then we have Zero, you know, that last week he actually showed a promising pace, and Jeffrey, you know, on the same 1,000th of a second. So they still, I think probably one of them, Zero, the Dutch driver, could probably try and get closer. I don't know how much closer, but definitely he could try something.
Yeah, Maximus just retiring there in the pit lane as well, but certainly, yeah, Paul out on top, Tekken second. Zero is level pegging actually with Jeffrey. He set the same lap time as Jeffrey, 109.994. So literally about 6,000 under the 110s. So nice lap time from him. Yeah, I've got to be honest, I think Zero might set a good lap time in the later stages of qualifying. I mean, we've only got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. Paul McGinn's out on top, Tekken second. Jeffrey third, Zero in fourth. Atlas Copo as well could be one to watch out for. I think we've only got one driver, or two drivers actually, out on lap, and Maze is one of them. Maze now coming across the line to start off on a lap, and the Mercedes is going to come through turn one, as we saw him just switch from an out lap to sector one, and now Maze is coming through the first sector. I think Paul McGinn might have had a spin on his out lap, or he's just waiting and getting some heat into the tyres, but Maze now through turn four, and then up the hill towards 5, 6 and 7. You can really see the bank corners that they've changed the layout here, of course, with it being a 2020 race, or would have been a 2020 race. Maze now coming through the first sector. Let's see what it's going to be. If he's in and around the early 130s, it's a 30.7 through the first sector. It's not lightning quick, but we'll hope that the Mercedes man can set a good lap time out on track as he now comes through, halfway through the middle sector, now through turn 10, not the second to last corner, as I said earlier on. Now Maze coming up towards turns 11 and 12. Very tricky on the brakes this corner. That's a 49.1 through the middle sector. Again, not lightning quick, but he is still purple in that middle sector because of the timing. Maze now coming around the final couple of corners with only 1 minute and 20 seconds left to go in qualifying. It is still Paul out on top, second, Jeffrey in third. We'll cut to Paul in a moment, but Maze now around the final corner, coming across the line. What's his lap time going to be? Goes 8th, 110.667, about 3 tenths ahead of Tom. Paul is on a lap as well, but he's invalidated. 200s down.
Yeah, not a good lap from Maze. I mean, he's quite far from the lead, but right now I'm on board with Zero, the Dutch driver, who's now going through this sort of parabolica, small parabolica, and now he's gonna go flat out through turn 7, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. About to end the first sector. Might he be purple? No, only 1/10 up. He has some traffic ahead, but I think that Mercedes was able to get off the way just on time. Oh, that's gonna cost him time for sure. As he hits the gravel, I don't know if he's gonna continue the lap. It seems like it. He's about to finish that second sector. Will he still be improving? No, and well done, because yeah, he could still have it. No, actually, 10 seconds. He's not gonna have another chance.
Zero, yeah, coming out of the final, well, out of turn 13, yeah, he's not going to get another chance at all. So Zero really costing his chance at the end of qualifying. Tekken, by the way, is the one I'm on board with, and he's a 10th up through the first sector with Paul McGinn's in the pit lane, and Tekken nearly losing it actually through turn 9. Goodness me. We'll get a flurry of lap times, by the way, coming up on your left-hand side of your screen. Paco's in control of the cameras, so I'm hoping he's following the same stuff as I am. Tekken coming through turns 11 and 12, and he's really flying through these. Now 2.5 tenths up through the middle sector. He's got to find the time once again in this final sector. All out on top. Tekken, though, is the lap time going to be beaten by Tekken? And I think it will. Tekken coming across the line, goes top. Oh, it's only by 4,000th of a second. It's like last night all over again. Scuba taking Paul last night, and Tekken, I think, has nicked it. Jeffrey a 10th up, coming to the line now. He stays third, but he improves. Atlas Copo could go third, and he's not. He's 200s down on Jeffrey. Tom is the only one to improve. No, he's into the pit lane. I am nobody. Is literally nobody, I think, in terms of the lap times here. But the AlphaTauri is going to improve. Let's see what his lap time's going to be. He goes 9th on a set of mediums. Quicker than Silas by 1/10.5 on that set of mediums. And that's his third lap on those tyres as well. But it's Tekken out on top, Paul McGinn second. It's basically where we left off last night in qualifying. 4,000 separating.
Definitely it cannot get closer than that. Yesterday I remember saying that, and today it has happened, you know. Only 4,000ths of a second. I mean, incredible stuff from them. And we can also see that between Jeffrey and Atlas Copo, there's only 20,000ths of a second. gap between them. So it seems like we're gonna have different battles all over the grid. Probably two drivers fighting for the win. Then we have Zero, Atlas, and Jeffrey with maybe Maximus. But yeah, I think we're gonna have an interesting race.
Yeah, it might be a bit like Vietnam last week, where we had quite a lot of action in a very short space of time in the early stages of the race. We're just waiting on Nilsson, by the way, to retire in the pits. But currently, it's Tekken out on top, Paul McGinn second. Well, I say currently, that's the standings on the grid pretty much. But, Paco, I'm going to come to you. I'm going to make you sweat a little bit. What's your top three for the race, looking at that qualifying grid?
Already? Oh my god, I mean...
Already? Even before the end of qualifying?
Exactly, I mean, I was, you know, getting ready, thinking, and yeah, let's see. I honestly think that Paul is gonna take the win, basically because I think he could have improved the lap, but due to different situation, he couldn't complete the lap. I'm gonna put probably Tekken in second place. I think that's a bold move. But in third, I think that's gonna be actually Zero, who's gonna take that third spot. What about you?
Yeah, it's gonna be quite interesting. We see the end of qualifying, Atlas Copel there on my screen in fourth position. But hopefully we're going to see some very good racing out on track tonight. Here's the full rundown of the grid, and look at that, 4,000ths of a second separating Tekken and Paul McGinn. Paul McGinn's just putting in the chat there as well. He loves this track. He wants revenge from last week in Vietnam. It's Tekken though out on top, Paul McGinn second, Jeffrey in third. Good qualifying from him, with Atlas Copel in fourth and Zero rounding off the top five. It's Maximus in sixth, Chomas in seventh. That's the best Norwegian pronunciation I can do. Mays in eighth with I'm Nobody in ninth. Tom in 10th with Sarlas in 11th. Nilsson in 12th. Vanderlei in 13th. NSL Storm in Victors and Day Miles. And Victors and Day Miles were tied quite early on in qualifying. NSL Storm, I think, might have had a spin somewhere and obviously retired out of the race. Unless we had drive-through penalties in qualifying, like qualifying bans and whatever else. But it seems like we're going to go straight into the formation lap. And we've already made, well, I haven't made my prediction yet. So I'm going to go... it's a bit tricky. Do you know what? I'm going to go Paul for the win. I think he's got better race pace than he has qualifying pace. I think the Scotsman is going to do a good job out on track. Tekken will be second.
Oh my god, you're so original right now. I mean, I hope you're aware that you have copied exactly the top two. I hope you change the third one.
Third for me, I'm going to go Zero.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I mean,
we've got the same.
So you're aware that for the first time we have probably made exactly the same prediction. So that's going to be probably a curse for all three of them. I hope you're aware of that, all right? I mean, it's your responsibility.
I'm very aware of that, I think, honestly. And I think, honestly, we should see a good race. There's quite a few drivers, actually, that could nick that top three spot. And Atlas Copel could be one of those that can really put in a good qualifying session. He did. He finished fourth in qualifying. But he'd be hoping to try and produce a better race here tonight. As we're about to go on to the formation lap, let's have a look then at some of the strategies that have been taken. Everyone now getting off the grid. Tekken leads us off for 36 laps around here at Zandvoort. 4.2 kilometres in length, just under 150 kilometres, I think, around here, if I'm not mistaken. But we should see some great racing out on track. And looking, obviously, I'm Nobody, and I think it was Silas who went on a set of mediums within qualifying. I'm Nobody, obviously, qualifying in the top 10, goes onto a set of mediums. He will be going probably to around the halfway stage, then pitting, possible one stop onto a set of hards. Interesting to see our Vanderlei on a set of hards, compounded tyre, in 13th position. There's the predicted pit stop strategy for Tekken. Lap 11 to 13 to one stop onto a set of hards from a set of softs. Lap 10 to 13, and I couldn't quite make out the second pit stop that would happen, but that was a two-stop strategy.
Soft mediums.
Yeah, soft mediums, and I think it might have been lap 19 to lap 20-something,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah.
Answers on a postcard, please, for that one. But, this is quite strange. I'm normally in the lead commentator's role, obviously, with us switching here tonight, with Suarez obviously streaming, and a big thanks to Suarez as well for streaming on his own channel, and obviously this will get uploaded into TTML in due course. Nothing like technical issues that could have happened. Absolutely unbelievable.
Oh, and an incident between Maximus and Zero. But yeah, as you were saying, yeah, technical issues, but at least they're gonna be able to watch it. It's live and will be later on the TTG channel or League Racing TV.
League Racing TV, yeah.
Better said. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this plays out. We can see the top 10, only I'm Nobody in mediums. Outside the top 10, 4 drivers on mediums. We can see Art Bandelay on hards, Invictus on soft. We can see that last car, I think it's Haas, getting into his grid spot, and this is about to start. As we will see the red lights going on our screen now. We have 3, 4, 5 red lights. We're waiting, and away we go. There we have the racing point. Good start for him. It seems like he can defend, but the Renault trying to defend from the Merc that is going round the outside, trying to move. A crazy move probably, but he's trying. He has to back off. It was not possible there as the Ferrari tries to have the inside, and he's gonna have it. There's a little bit of contact there as he's going to the grass. Another contact there. He almost spawns, and we can see some incident behind, but now it's green again, and we can see a bold move from the Ferrari. We can see Atlas Copo now up to third, and we're seeing that Jeffrey is having some trouble in that start as the AlphaTauri seems all over him.
Yeah, Zero right on the back of Jeffrey. Very good start. Oh, we've got a safety car. I'm Nobody has crashed, I think, coming through turn 8. It looks like he's went straight on. Invictus has got a 5-second penalty, so I wonder if there was collision possibly between Invictus and I Am Nobody. I'm Nobody at the race. Safety car deployed on lap 1. Tekken leads, Paul McGinn second. Atlas Coppola, he fought his way through, ran the outside, through the banking through turn 4. It's a fantastic move. Obviously with the glitching out cars, it wasn't that great, but Atlas Coppola did get the move done for third. Jeffrey fourth, Zero in fifth. Let's have a look at the position gains if we can. 5 positions gained for Dave Miles, down in 11th position from 16th on the grid. The Welshman hoping to produce a good performance. But, quite interestingly, it looks like everyone might be staying out on track. No, Sardas is in. Sardas is into the pits. He's one of the only drivers, I think, to come into the pits, bar Invictus, who is also coming in, and Tom at the back of the field. So Sardas goes on to a set of hards. I'm afraid to say they're not going to last to the end, because 34, 35 laps on a set of hards, you're basically going to end yourself up with a death sentence if you want to try and go for that.
But maybe they just want to try something else, an alternative strategy, go like to the hardest style, and now maybe finish on the soft or something like that, because they know that everyone else will have to do another stop. So I think it's just a switch of strategy. As we can see, Manuelsen gets a 5-second time penalty for severe collision, but that's probably a game glitch, as we've seen already in Division 2, I think it was. But we'll have to see and wait what stewards say after the race, because if it was not fair, definitely he will complain about it, and he doesn't seem to have damage. Or actually, he has. So it was a strong... Yeah, left side end plate.
Is it left side end plate? Yeah.
So it seems like it seems like actually it was a strong hit. So probably he'll get into the pits on this lap.
Yeah.
And he will have time to catch again.
Yeah, the gap that Maze is actually putting to Maximus in front of him, it is 10 car lengths. Nelson wants to be right up Maze's backside though, and I think that's probably where the collision has probably happened, because Maze is leaving so much space, which you're allowed to do. You're allowed to leave 10 car lengths out on track, but Nelson in behind is now going to dive it into the pit lane, it seems. So Nelson is going to repair that front wing damage, as you say. And it could also mean that the safety car could be out for another lap as well. So those guys that have pitted on a set of hards, as we see Nelson actually is getting a front wing change.
And serving a 5-second
penalty. Yeah. So that's good, that served a 5-second penalty. Whether that gets added on at the end of the race is a different thing. It looked like he was getting 2 front wings put on there, to be honest. As Invictus has also into the pit lane, and he's crashed under the safety car, has he? Yeah, right side end plate damage.
Yeah, so disastrous start for McLaren, as we see both drivers coming into the pits to serve, one of them to serve 5-second time penalty and then change the front wing, and then we have Invictus that goes for soft. and he also had to change the front wing, so not a good start for the McLaren drivers.
Yeah, he has to change up the strategy, to be honest. And he has to do something that his teammate isn't. Nelson on a set of hards, Invictus on a set of softs. Maybe a little bit of teamworking going on there for the McLarens, the papaya coloured cars, of course, as we call it. 1 lap, 3 out of 36, as nobody leaves the session. We thank him, though, for attending, even though it was very much short-lived. Tekken is out on top. Paul McGinn second, Atlas Coco third. Safety car period is going to be out in another lap, which gives me enough time to go and switch off my laptop downstairs. I'll be back.
Alright. So, as we can see right now, the top 10 after that a bit of a crazy lap. Tekken still leads. Good start from him. He was able to defend from Paul. Then we have Paul in second. Atlas in third, who gained the position after a questionable move. But in the end, none of them ended in the wall, so I would say it's fair play to both of them. And then Jeffrey is in fourth, Thero in fifth. We can see Tiyomis in sixth. I think he gained the position to Maximus on the start. And then we have Math in eighth, Day Miles in ninth, Storm in 10th. Surprising race from him, I have to say. And then we have Vandalay, I am Silas, Tom, Invictus, and Magnussen. And we can see Magnussen has pitted again to go into into mediums. So I don't know what he's thinking about. Maybe he just switched. Oh, and he locks up. I don't know what's happening with him. I mean, I don't know if he has gone into mediums just because he went into hard to make like the both tires rule, but it's a weird move from Magnussen. But we'll see. Probably he will go medium in this race, but it's a bit of interesting call from him as he already rejoins the pack. And technically safety car, yeah, there we have race control notifies us, and yeah, safety car in this lap. So we will go back to green on this lap. Tekken will try to defend with everything he has, followed by the Renault from Paul that knows that this is a big opportunity for him. We see the Racing Point slowing down as Maximus gets a 5-second time penalty for collision with Tiyomis and also Tom. Lots of penalties here, but Tom was ahead, so that's probably a glitch. And we can see the Racing Point waiting, making them wait. Will he be able to surprise? And we are back into racing as the Racing Point start to speed up. And we see already a car into the pits, I think that was, if I'm not mistaken. At the moment, no moves on top. And we can see the Mercedes trying to defend there from the AlphaTauri. Jeffrey has been struggling a bit, but definitely he will have to try and put all his part together and make a good race, as I think that was James' head back in the commentary box.
Yeah, I'm on board with Paul McGinn, who's right on the back of Tekken for first position.
Ooh.
Oh, and actually Paul's made a mistake! Oh, goodness me, catches the curve, well recovered by the Scotsman.
Yeah.
God, you can't make too many mistakes like that. And he said he liked this track, maybe not after that. Goodness me, it's cost him at least a second to Tekken out on track. Milton, by the way, I think spun under the restarts as well. Is now down in 15th position as Storm has now been overtaken by Silas, and here comes Invictus, trying to go around the outside line as well. Oh, Invictus nearly into the back of Silas, but gets the move done on Storm. He's up into 12th position, and it looks like it's going to go hell for leather for the next few laps or so, which is good to see. Atlas Couple nearly losing it out of the banking, but it is Tekken out on top. Paul is recovering 9/10 away in second. Atlas Couple third, Jeffrey in fourth. Zero across the line in fifth. Maximus getting close to Thomas, but not quite. Here comes Invictus on Silas. 2 for 1 down the inside he goes. Invictus through and he's up into 11th. 2 positions made in just about as many corners. Invictus through and he's up into 11th position. Good move.
Well, Invictus right now with soft, so it's now what he has to do. Overtake and try to make as much positions as he can, because those tires will last shortly. But we can see Paul after that mistake already just all over Tekken, and it seems like that mistake didn't affect him at all. He's already all over him, and we can see the Racing Point making a little mistake there, going a little bit wide and touching the curb. And it seems like the Racing Point doesn't have as much pace as he showed in quali.
He doesn't. Paul is all over the back of him, and to think it was 1.4 seconds down coming through these corners last time around. It's now only 0.4 of a second, and not within DRS range, because obviously the DRS will be enabled next lap around. Jeffrey's on the back of Atlas Coco as well, coming down the stretch. Paul McGinn sets a new fastest lap for the race, but here comes Jeffrey on the back of Atlas Coco. Not quite close enough. Somebody that might be is Maximus on the back of Chomas. Not getting the move done either. A little bit of hesitation, I think, amongst the drivers. Obviously, we've had a safety car out already. Tekken is the one that leads. Paul McGinn second. Atlas Coco in third. I've got to be honest, front two are beginning to dominate, because Atlas Coco is now 2 seconds behind.
Yeah, definitely. Both of them have a lot of pace, but I have to say that also both of them have used almost the entire ERS, and we can see both of them almost making mistakes, going really wide on that curb. But yeah, they're pushing a lot, and that's probably bringing some mistakes in. As we can see, they're roughly half ERS, and yellow flags is Tom out. That could bring a safety car.
Round on the outside curb coming through turn 9, a VSC is being deployed. So VSC, the Welshman is out though. Tom, who's had a good start to the season, sadly out. But what these drivers now got to do is stick to a delta. It was hard last night for Scuba to stick to a delta because he picked up 2 drive-through penalties.
Yeah.
I hope really that we don't get that. Maximus, Thomas has spun under the VSC. What on earth? Thomas has spun out of turn 13 on the VSC. Go on, what were you saying, sorry?
And surprisingly, well, actually, I would say no one is pitting, but T-Yomis did, as he gets 5-second time penalty. Unfortunate, but Maith also pits, but he had a 5-second time penalty for colliding with someone, and now he gets the wheels changed. And I have to say, I'm surprised by this strategy by the leaders, because I was guessing that they would actually stop and put mediums, because they're not that far away. Oh, and Storm gets a drive-through penalty as we are back into racing. But as I was saying, I thought they were close to the pit window, so I thought they would maybe, do the pit stop and gain some time, but they didn't.
Pit window's about 2 or 3 laps away. I think if we took it in context from last night, Division 2, some of the drivers were pitting in lap 9, lap 10, as you say, but some of the drivers left it to about lap 11, lap 12, which is when the pit window, if I recall, opened last night. Paul is still all over the back of Tekken. What is going to be advantageous, though, for the Scotsman is he's going to have DRS this time around. He didn't under the safety car, but now he's going to open up the taps on this Renault and hopefully try and get the move done. But looking like he's way too far back. He's not going to channel his inner Daniel Ricciardo, but he gets the move done. Here comes Jeffrey, though, on the back of Atlas Coco down the inside. Can the Mercedes get the move done on the Ferrari? How on earth do we like to see this in real life? Look at this, Atlas Coco around the outside through turn 3, holds the position, and Jeffrey has a half spin nearly on the curve, just catching the grass on the inside, and it's forcing Zero into play as well. Paul is all up the back of Tekken, coming up the hill, pretty much bump drafting him through turn 7. He is all of the back and trying to go for the move down to turn 8. Tekken's made the mistake. Here comes Paul for the lead of the race. Job done. Paul is through to the lead of the race.
Switch back.
And then Tekken switches back, trying to go around the outside. Maximus has ran through turn 7 as well.
Around the outside, beautiful.
Just about, but Paul's still there. He's still got a half a car alongside him. Paul trying to go around the outside. He could go switch back. No, Tekken has got the move done. Brilliant battling. These two said they were going to have a good race, and by God, they've already proven it, and we're only a quarter of the way through.
And we are having plenty of action. I mean, it's not only the battle for the lead, then we have a 3-way battle for that third spot. And yeah, it's all over. The Renault almost losing it as he's going to throw it down the inside. Easy overtake. I don't think but he goes deep. Yeah,
Tekken,
too deep.
Back through, and Jeffrey's got through an Atlas Copo as well for third.
Yeah, so good move by Jeffrey, but we cannot say the same about Paul, that went really deep into that braking. And yeah, the Racing Point got the position back as he goes a little bit into the grass. Little mistake, but now again in the same section of the circuit, the Renault is all over the Racing Point.
Yeah, the Renault looks a lot more stable, I think, than that Racing Point ahead. I just saw a slight red X on Tekken's name as well. I hope that's not a sign of things to come. Obviously, in terms of a disconnect, but Tekken is leading this race. But the front two in the championship are going to have a battle. And Paul now on the back of Tekken. Is that your alarm or something going off in the background there? Paul on the back of Tekken. The phone is ringing. But is the phone ringing for Paul for another contract for next season of TTML Division 5? We'll have to find out. Paul on the back of Tekken as he comes through now the final corner. This should be job done for the Renault if he doesn't go too deep. He now uses up that overtake mode to try and get alongside. He's going to go around the outside of him if need be. Breaks up the 100-meter mode. Tries to go around the outside. I tell you what, he's going to get this move done in this case.
Oh, they're still side by side.
The yellow flag. Silas is round. And pulls through. Brilliant move, pull through, round the outside, through turn 3, gets the job done, and he's through. Salas spun, coming out to turn 14, and he's down into 11th, now 12th position with Thomas going past.
Tekken had to back off. I mean, he was seeing, you know, that he was without pace, as with the Arpandalai off the track, he spun as well. But yeah, that was a really good move from Paul. He obligated Tekken to back up, so that's really, really clever from him. And we'll have to see if he has much more pace than the Racing Point, because now it seems that it could be the perfect chance for him to actually pull a gap.
Yeah, he's in clear air at this moment as well, and that is what is going to drive the Scotsman to good effect. 19% of EOS for Tekken, 19%, so they're pretty much level pegging in terms of the ERS management. If you are new to tuning into Suarez's and the TTML channel as well when this gets uploaded, the ERS is the energy recovery system, and in layman's terms, essentially braking into the corner as the pit window is open and Atlas is into the pit window now open onto a set of hard compounded tyres. He pits in lap 12, so a set of hards, 24 laps, it makes sense to go to the end.
Yeah, I mean, it could perfectly make it.
Invictus right on the back of Dave Miles, just giving him a bit of a love tap up the backside there through turn 1, but Welshman hangs on to 5th position.
I mean, lots of things happening in these first laps, I have to say. Interesting race at the moment. As we can see right now, yeah, Paul almost has that 1 second gap to get off the DRS range, and it seems like he's gonna have it. Meanwhile, behind Zero, since Atlas Copo went into the pits, he's now off from the DRS range, but it seems he's faster than Jeffrey, so probably he's gonna catch up quickly. And then we have Invictus right at the back of Day Miles, as you said, almost going at the back of him, but it seems, well, it's on a softer. Oh, when he touched the gravel, the Alfa Romeo driver.
Yeah, Demel's running wide there through turn 12, and now Invictus is all over the back. Tekken into the pits. Is he going to force a reaction out of Paul next lap around? I would imagine so. Invictus is on the back of Damars. This is looking quite easy, I've got to say, for the Brit. Down the inside, his pit window now open to go into a set of mediums. And Damars trying to hang it around the outside. Never going to pull that one off, my son. And Invictus through, and he's up to 3rd.
I mean, I don't know why I was seeing him actually pulling out that move, but yeah, it was really, really difficult. But Invictus is through. Oh, when the Alfa Romeo is into the wall, he made a mistake. He touched a little bit the grass and he just lost the back end. That's really unfortunate. I think he has a bit of damage. No, he doesn't. So that's actually fortunate. Quite fortunate to not have damage.
Yeah, very fortunate.
And we've seen that Atlas was not able to make the undercut, so really that undercut was a bit useless. Like it was not useful because we can see that now he's even more behind than what he was. I don't know if he was in the middle of some traffic with Maximus or what, but yeah, definitely not the best move.
Gap to Tekken, 17.4 seconds. I'm watching Maze, by the way, on the back of Knowlton. This is a very tasty battle between these two. And it's now the Brit's going to use up on the German, who has taken the giveaway, of course. Oh, Knowlton's coming across on him. Oh, and they both go wide and they've gone off. They both go off. And Maze off, Knowlton off. Bit of a desync, I think, occurring there. And I think that's actually my connection going. Is it?
Right now, are you seeing some desync?
I'm seeing desync, yeah.
Oh yeah, then it's your connection or your game. I'm just watching the battle between I Am Silas and Manussen, and I can see that Manussen has a bit of front wing damage. on the right side end plate. And yeah, he's probably gonna cost him a lot of time. And meanwhile, in front, we've seen we've seen that the undercut has been useless. I mean, it has actually, it's more powerful the overcut than the undercut. So interesting, because now Zero, I think he has been able to see that, and he's staying out on track as he probably sees that his tires still work. So that could, oh, and virtual save, that's perfect.
Yeah, stole mad through turn 4. That was the Haas, and I think I'm
Zero
back.
into
By the
the
way,
lead.
I think it was just. Yeah, I think my connection just went for like a couple of seconds, but that was about it. So, yeah, just
Zero
to speak
into the
about.
lead.
Yeah, Zero into the lead of the race possibly
Oh,
now.
no.
Oh, and he sped into the pit lane.
Oh,
Just a couple of mile an hour over.
he didn't have to. I mean, he had the move done, you know, he had only to relax and calm down. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who's going to be ahead at the moment, Paul.
Easily.
No, yeah, it's actually easily, but he's going to be ahead of Tekken, so that's actually a really good move by Zero. That is now in second, but with that 5-second time penalty, so bad luck from him. I think he didn't have the need to rush, you know, he was under the BSC, so he didn't need to push that hard. Silly mistake, but anyways, he's now up to second.
Yeah, the thing is though, Tekken is having to stick to a delta time that is different to Zero. Zero will have to stick to a delta time of him being particular coming out the pit lane. We're back on the way now as Thomas has just picked up a drive-through penalty that's been under the safety car. Plenty of people getting caught out. DRS now back enabled. Paul now leads 2 seconds out on track. Zero has produced a very good undercut here, the Dutchman, in second. But Tekken, it makes me wonder, did he make a mistake on his outlap, essentially, for him to cost essentially a second, nearly a second and a half, to Paul before they came into the pit lane? There's the yellow flag through sector 1 and 2. I think it was Silas that had a half spin, and Maximus now through enough to 11. But Tekken looks quick on the back of Zero here. Coming around the final corner, he's close-ish enough for a move. 4/10 of a sector. Oh, Paul's round! Paul's round through the final corner. He's lost
front
an
wing damage. Yeah, front wing damage. Isn't that good?
Tekken's gone for the lead.
Yeah,
Tekken down the inside for the lead of the race. Can he get the move done? The racing point.
He's trying to hold it.
Yeah. Yes, he can. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Opportunistic, but Paul, obviously, we missed it. Coming out the pit, obviously he's had a half spin, and he's now out of contention.
I'm not sure if that was a spin, because I think it was more just on the outside. I think he just hit the wall. I think he had a bit of oversteer and probably he hit the wall. But so unfortunate, because as I said yesterday on Division 2, you know, on this track you cannot make any mistake, because then it costs you a lot. Foul. It was Paul, right?
Yes.
Oh, but what's that? Oh!
Putting off Nelson. Nelson trying to get in the inside line. Paul actually had the move done. Beautiful move. It was a switch back to perfection. He used the camber to great effect. He's through and he's up to 6th. Nelson trying to stick his car right in there, but Paul, having none of it, cut him short and cut him out of that P6 position. Maximus now up next for Nelson, and Maximus actually has already came into the pits as well. He's on a fresh set of hard compounded tyres, I'm under the impression. Nelson's got right side end plate damage. There goes Maximus down the inside. There should be a job done. Nelson is still hanging on in there.
Oh,
but
beautiful.
Maximus is through. Beautiful stuff.
He went around the outside, and what a move, honestly. And now it seems that the Alfa Romeo is going to be the next one to try and make the move. But we can see that McLaren still has, as I said earlier, end plate damage. So he's only going to lose time and more time. So he cannot really defend, as he's going to... No, actually, he brake late to try and defend from the Alfa Romeo. But I think the Alfa Romeo could have the position here. Touches a little bit the grass. Is he going to try around the outside? I don't know. He's going to try definitely the switch back for turn 7.
No,
actually, beautiful. What a move.
Last night.
Round the outside.
So there comes Nelson. Nelson is still on the back of him, and he's going to go down the inside of turn 7. Tell Ginger, no way that was going to work off. Ginger tried it last night. It worked. Nelson tried it. It failed. It's as simple as that.
That to be honest, I mean, it was optimistic to try there, but I think the Alfa Romeo could definitely let him a little bit more of space. But yeah, as you said, it's not the place to try it, you know. It's a really difficult spot to actually make an overtake. And just talking about the that move. I'm just watching it. Paul is being actually really quick on this race as he makes the move down the inside. Yeah, beautiful. I mean, I think Maith didn't even try to defend. I think he knew he was faster, you know, and he just let him through. But yeah, as he sets the fastest lap with a 1:12.0, so good start from him that he's now trying to push to recover from that mistake he did. As we can see, I Am Silas finally pitting that Alfa Romeo going into the pits. Yeah, oh yeah, the drive-through. Yeah, under the BSC, that's right. And Tekken already 2-second gap to 0.
Gap has stayed so consistent, I think, though. It has been 2 seconds pretty much since Tekken got in the lead of the race. Obviously, he's pulled away, and he's on 2 lap older tyres than 0. There's the yellow flag through sector 1 and 2. It's Dane Miles that has ran through turn 7. He's lost it on the inside curve, I think, for him to end up on the outside. And Dane Miles has now got into... he's got back underway, and he's back down in P13. Unfortunate, I think. Silas on the back of our Vanderlei, though, looking like the closest battle out on track. I've just said that, and Silas has just made a mistake.
Yeah.
I'll shut up by now.
I mean, come on. To be honest, 19 laps, we have had lots of battles, but I understand. Oh, when Paul in another fastest lap, we can see that he's reducing that gap by 1 second a lap. So he could become a threat by the end of the race. I honestly think that he could be a threat at the end of the race, but we'll have to see. I was just thinking, I've seen all the mistakes that many drivers are making, and I think this makes us to see from a different perspective what the Division 2 drivers did yesterday, because they barely made a mistake in the whole race, and we've seen that here it's too easy to make a mistake. You have gravel everywhere, you have high curbs, so I have to say that what Division 2 drivers did yesterday, it's just outstanding.
Yeah, I've got to be honest, I think drivers are making mistakes because it may be the case that they haven't necessarily practiced the track that much. Obviously, it being a new track onto the calendar, it's really seeing the best out of who can control the car around the bank corners. And it's as simple as that. Tekken obviously now 3 seconds clear of 0, so my analysis of him staying very consistent and 2 seconds behind,
Yeah,
and Silas has ran through the middle sector through turn 10, gets Miles now ahead of him, but he gets back underway. But yeah, Tekken leading by 3.2 seconds, and he's really looking very quick. But the main focus of attention for me is if we're going to get another safety car. If we get another safety car, Paul McGuinness, if he switches to a set of softs and the rest don't, Paul McGuinness will win this race. And he's catching Atlas Coppo hand over fist at this stage.
It's going to be interesting to see. I have the feeling that with all those mistakes, I think there's going to be another safety car for sure. If not, well, bad prediction again. But yeah, I have to say that what Paul right now is doing is outstanding, and I'm asking myself what he could have done if it wasn't for that mistake. Probably he would be 4 seconds ahead of Tekken. But yeah, let's see if the Renault can actually recover. It seems like now he has been stuck in that 10.4, 10.3 for a while. But yeah, there's still 15 laps, so he has time to try and recover that time. And we can see Jeffrey is actually cutting and cutting 0. So this could be a battle to watch out in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, more immediately, old Dane Miles is trying to go around the outside of Nelson coming through turns 11 and 12. He's trying to switch it back nearly into the gravel there, to be honest. I thought he was going to aim towards cutting onto the gravel, but he doesn't. Nelson has still got right side end plate damage, and that is easy picking for Dane Miles. Nelson came across him slightly, but Dane Miles could have left him a little bit more room. Here comes Nelson down the inside line. They've got to be careful. They don't want to make over a colossal mistake that will cost both of their races. Dane Miles runs wide, Nelson ran into him, and to be honest, Dane Miles was the car ahead, and he was always going to get that move done. And he's up to 12.
I don't have anything.
11, sorry.
Yeah, I don't have anything against Manelson, but he's really breaking late on those moves. I don't know if you noticed before when he was fighting with the Alfa Romeo, and I think was trying to remember, was it Invictus? or Tiyomi's, I cannot really remember. He just made a really late move on the braking, you know, trying to defend when he knows that he has damage. I think he has to watch out for that and just calm down. Note that he has another race. As we can see, I Am Silas is already all over the McLaren.
Yeah, I think actually it might have been Paul. Paul has got the move through turn 4, switched it back. Knowlton trying to go down the inside and obviously completely and utterly misjudged it. And Silas is now looking over the back of Knowlton. He is our giveaway winner, of course, in TTML. I'll make that point continuously. Here comes Silas, though. Surely is going to have to defend around the outside. Knowlton's just got to be careful. He sticks to a racing line. And
there we go.
He's very late on the brakes again and overcommits it and nearly goes into the wall through turn 1. Goodness me, Silas is through, though.
I have to say that and we can see the Alfa Romeo ahead made a mistake and he almost went he went into the wall and he has right end plate damage if I'm not mistaken. But as I said, the McLaren did that dive again, and actually I think the Alfa Romeo did that maneuver, you know, to try and avoid that contact. That's why probably he went a little bit deep as he saw that coming from miles off. And we can see Daimiles with that end plate damage picks up a 3-second time penalty.
Zero's looking under pressure here. 2 Dutchmen on the podium, by the way, as it stands, checking out on top of the break from Zero and Jeffrey the Dutchman. So the Dutchmen are doing very well here tonight. Not in the same team, with obviously I Am Nobody being at the session as well, but we have still got 2 Dutchmen at least remaining off the top of my head, looking at the nationalities. Jeffrey is getting onto the back of Zero, but he isn't close enough to try and get a move done. He was 5 tenths off coming down towards turn 1. Salas, by the way, is through on Malc, who obviously comes into the pit lane, and Knowlton is going to go through as well. But now Jeffrey's out of DRS range, and he's got good pace, 1 lap pace, Jeffrey, but he can't really string consistent laps together. And I think that's been proven. He's now dropping the time back to 0, and Atlas Coco is beginning to come into play as well. Jeffrey's just got to start to set those consistent laps in, and he's got to really manage his ERS as well, because that is going to be one of his downfall moments, I think, out on track.
Yeah, and Daimiles, 5-second time penalty for crossing the line at the exit of the pit lane. Definitely, I have to say that probably Sandbo, it's one of the trickiest pit exits, since you have that tight corner, you know, just at the exit. I have to really watch out for that exit, because you have to go to the outside to then get the inside of the next corner. So a bit tricky, and I can understand why he got it, but yeah, it's not something you see every day. And as you said, as you pointed out, Jeffrey really struggling with ERS and definitely not having that consistency that he could have, and that's making Atlas, you know, catching up. But not only Atlas, because I think there's gonna be a battle between those 3, and I think this is gonna allow Paul to actually catch up. So interesting scenario, you know, that it's being originated by these drivers.
Yeah, I've got to be honest as well. Looking at this battle for 6th, Maximus is right on the back of Maze. Maze obviously pitting in. He will have to pit again. Oh, Maximus. Jesus. He nearly lost the control of that car. Well recovered. He's now on the back of Maze. Another one that's just got to be careful on his ERS. Of course, you've got to expect the Division 5 guys to be running automatic ERS. They don't want to be fiddling about with buttons and all sorts on their controller or on their wheel during the race. So some of these guys might be running auto ERS, which essentially means the game is doing it for them. That's how I think of it. Maximus now on the back of Maze, coming down towards turn 1. Not close enough though. Maze will hang on position. But you can see on the rear tyres actually of Maze, especially the rear right, there's quite a lot of blistering occurring, and that is where the tyres get overheated as he runs wide, and that is the perfect example, I think, of the tyres getting overheated. And now Maximus, to be honest, I would use up overtake mode, because he should get the move done. He should have got the move done there, and he should have really put all of his eggs into one basket to try and get past Maze there. But Maze hangs on just about. But I can honestly see Maximus getting past at least in the next lap.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, but you can see that move by Maximus, you know, on the turn one. You can see that they know each other for so long that they have some respect, you know. And we
Oh,
can
is
see that
he?
now. Yeah, he's having a run, and let's see if he's gonna dive it.
No.
No, you see, that's what I mean with respect. They know each other for a long time, and they know that, as we see a
Ah,
McLaren the other way around. I don't know if it
that's
Magnussen or if
Nilsson, I think. No, hang on. No, it's Invictus. Invictus's
Invictus,
round.
yeah.
Invictus round through
Overtaken
turn 10.
by Art Bandale, so yeah, and Mace into the pits
Is
finally.
into the pits.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 laps on a set of softs makes sense. And his victory come out in very quick time there. It's like the one in the London Marathon or 100-metre sprint there, to be honest, when they came out the pit lane. But Mays is out on that sort of soft compound of tyre. And Thomas is also into the pit lane as well. He's had a good race. He's serving up that 5-second penalty for him speeding into the pit lane last time around. He's another one that goes onto a set of softs, and he's going to be right in the mix with Invictus coming out the pit lane, I think. Thomas is on the inside. Yeah, he's going to be right out behind Invictus, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're gonna have an interesting race till the end, because they're gonna be able to push with those softs. As we have 9 laps remaining, as the leader crosses the straight, like, yeah, the line from the. I'm blocked. Yeah, the finish line. Yeah, thank you very much. And we've seen I Am Silas finally pits and go for new soft as his teammate did laps earlier. And we can see now Jeffrey closer than ever. Definitely he has to risk it. He has to go for it, because Atlas Coppo is way behind, and I wouldn't be surprised if, Maximus into the pits. I think
he's got time. I think he reacted to Mays there.
Yeah.
Let us off go on. I mean, he's going to be well out ahead of Mays.
We'll have to see. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, easily.
It should.
Seen that on the mini map. I don't want to even go on board with it, because I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Vandalay as well as into the pits. 25 lap old hards going off on that tyre. He pitted on into the safety car. He's managed to get those tyres quite well. I'm on board with Jeffrey, by the way.
Yeah.
He was on the back of Zero. There's the yellow flag in sector 1, and
Williams.
It's Thomas who was spun on fresh softs. He's only been on those tyres, I think, 1 lap. As my voice goes, Jeffrey on the back of Zero coming down the straight. Tekken not pulling away. 5.5 seconds is quite a decent gap for him. Jeffrey is pulling into the gap of Zero, though, and not getting the move done. Has Zero got white cell end plate damage, by the way?
No, unless it's a damage that only you can see sometimes. I don't think he has. I cannot appreciate any end plate damage.
Yeah, it looked to me as if he was coming down the straight. I thought his right side end plate damage, but he had right side end plate damage, and that right side it completely came off. But it didn't. Just running a ball with it, it doesn't look like he does. Our Vandalay through on Day Miles.
And he has pulled off, well, almost. He pulled off a second gap to Jeffrey. It has to be frustrating from Jeffrey's view, you know, to be behind for several laps and for whatever reason not being able to make a move and just sit behind waiting to the driver ahead make a mistake. It has to be frustrating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm on board with our Vandalay, by the way. These guys are in the worst scenario that they could be in. Silas and Day Miles are going side down into 171. Thank goodness for the Goldstein system. That's what I was going to come on to. As our Vandalay's just selt it round the outside of Nelson. What a move that is by our Vandalay. Brilliant stuff.
The Alfa Romeo boys.
And the 2 Alfa Romeos are having a fight. Nelson is going to be swamped here up the hill through 10, 5 and 6. Keep it clean, guys. That's not how to do it.
And the Alfa Romeo.
But good recovery by Silas. Goodness me. Oh my god.
Definitely Magnussen, more like Magnussen.
He's still got that right side end plate damage, Nelson.
Yeah, and I don't know why he's risking it that much. I mean, he should be clever.
And he goes to move again down the inside, and Day Miles. He shut the door completely on him, and to be honest, Day Miles had the position. That's all I'm going to say on that. Nelson on what seems like 26 lap old medium. If he's got that 26 laps, then it's absolutely beyond me. But I think he's only been on those like 4. So yeah, it's quite interesting.
And we have our first message of the stream in the comment section. As Mikazu said, that's safe. Oh my god, yeah, I have to agree on that. The Alfa Romeo being hit. Oh yes, we can see it.
Miles runs wide.
Oof,
Got right
yeah.
side end plate damage, I think, Miles. No, he hasn't. That's my
5 seconds.
eyesight going again.
And Magnussen finally pits and gets a 5-second time penalty. So yeah, what a race for him, to be honest.
Yeah, fighting a lost poles, to be honest, with some of his moves.
Yeah, I think his driving standard hasn't been up there. I mean, at least he's gonna get a warning for that, because what he has done today, it cannot be accepted, to be honest. And we can see a three-way battle for that 10th position, as it's now Atlas Coppo ahead, who is trying to catch Jeffrey. But definitely, yeah, we're gonna have an exciting race, an exciting ending.
Did you say a 3-lap battle for 10th? As well? Yeah,
no, a three-way. I think I said a three-way battle, or I hope I said that, because if not...
You said a three-way battle for 10th. Three-way battle for 2nd.
Oh well, but also for 10th. We have two battles.
These guys are actually just ahead of the front, the 2nd, 3rd and 4th battle, actually. That's now down the inside of Desmars. Is he going to try and get the move done? The Alfa Romeo on the back of his teammate. Have a go, man. Have a go. Down the inside. Oof. No, Desmars hangs on. Off Vanderlei had got the move done. He doesn't look comfortable, though, at all, the Norwegian. I think Off Vanderlei, if I'm not mistaken, is one of the reserves here tonight.
Oh, look at that Alfa Romeo.
And Off Vanderlei now.
Really good exit.
Oh,
to the ground. Oh, that was risky. I mean, come on, leave some space. You always have to leave a space.
Oh, and Solas into the back of Dave Miles. Goodness me.
Yeah.
No, left side end plate damage to Silas.
Yes, I mean, what an ending. Honestly, they were having a good battle, you know, and it has to end this way. But still, one of the Alfa Romeos still to try and battle, try to have that position. It's gonna be difficult. No one said it was gonna be easy, but definitely our Vanderlei a bit. He closed too much, I think.
Yeah, these guys have got to get out of the way as well, because here comes 2nd, 3rd and 4th coming through, and my prediction of Paul coming back into contention, look how far he's away, he's only 3.8 seconds. Yeah. These guys possibly getting held up as a result of traffic, or they'll make a mistake as a result of traffic, and Paul could be in a good shout, maybe to get a top 3 position. I never thought I'd say that, but with 5 laps to go, anything is possible.
Yeah, definitely, anything is possible, and I have to say that definitely interesting battle. Like the battle for second has been going on for almost the whole race, and I can see that I think it's gonna be decided on the final lap.
Yeah, I think it might be as well. Tekken, obviously, he's just in a world of his own. He's going to go for 2nd win in a row. Obviously, taking it last time out in Vietnam. Apologies, by the way, we didn't get any standings or anything like that. We were in so much of a rush to get started, I think we forgot. So they'll be up the updated standings on the Discord. But Tekken leading the way. Zero is getting closer, though, I think. The gap was 5.5. It's now 5.2. He's inking into that advantage. 2 lap pressure tyres than the rest of the field around him. 5 seconds now the gap, and I've just said that, and he's nearly half spun.
Oh, the Alfa Romeo.
Well,
he had a really bad exit into the grass. Yeah, Desmars. So that's the battle for 10th over, really.
Atlas Coppo is getting on the back of Jeffrey. Jeffrey just made a slight mistake coming through the banking.
McLaren.
But Jeffrey's got DRS on the back of Vanderlei ahead. So Jeffrey stays in 3rd position. Atlas Coppo stays in 4th. But if Vanderlei gets out of the way, Jeffrey and Atlas Coppo are going to be fighting out for this 3rd position. But look at Paul. Yeah. Paul on the set of mediums is charging. 2.7 seconds the gap. It's even less than that coming out of the banking. And Paul, to be honest, he might have limited ERS, but trust me, he's not out of this. 4 laps to go. I think he might be right on top of them come the final lap of the race.
I think it's going to be an exciting ending, because right now Jeffrey, I think, is being saved. Again, Desmars, 5-second time penalty for crossing the pit lane, exit white line. But as we can see, yeah, Jeffrey now is being saved for the DRS he's receiving from the Williams. But apart from that, it seems like Atlas is quicker, and this battle that is going on right now could help Paul to actually catch and overtake them by the end of the race. So it's going to be exciting to see. As we can see, finally the Williams get out of the way from the Merc. And we have yellow flags again.
Oh, it's
Invictus.
Nilsson, I think. Oh, is it?
No,
Or is it
Nilsson.
Invictus? No, it is Nilsson. Yeah, Invictus is coming through just behind him out on track on the track map.
Yeah, but I mean, no. Oh my god.
Oh, and that's unfair. 10-second time penalty when rejoining the track. Wet game.
Not the race he wanted, definitely. And with that 10-second time, well, that unfair 10-second time penalty. Probably it will get removed, but not the race he wanted, definitely. And now, with 2 laps remaining, on the final lap we will go with the leader just to see how he crosses the finish line. But right now the battle is here for 3rd place. As we can see, Atlas all over Jeffrey.
Tell you what.
Actually, this is a bit ironic because at the start of the race, Atlas lost the position to Jeffrey. And now it seems it's going to be the other way around. Atlas is going to recover that spot.
Paul could get both of them. 1.6 seconds the gap. He's eating into that advantage. And there is Nilsson round actually through turn 12. So that doesn't help Paul's for the guys out on track. Jeffrey is hanging, I would say he's hanging on because Atlas Corporal's looking quicker now as we approach the final couple of laps. But he has got a lap older tyres than Jeffrey. He's doing a good job. He needs to save up that ERS to have a go on the final lap of the race. We've got 2 laps to go now. Tekken leads 0 second, Jeffrey 3rd. But Paul, I'd said he's going to be on top of them on the final lap of the race. I'm not wrong. These guys are going to battle quite hard now.
I mean, I said it earlier. I think we both agreed on that Paul was a threat by the end of the race. I actually went a bit more ahead than that, and I thought that he was going to be fighting for the win, but that was optimistic. But yeah, definitely he's fighting for the podium after that mistake. So really good race from him. And right now, as we said during the whole race, the battle is now between Atlas and Jeffrey. Atlas will have to use that ERS mod enough, because if not, he's not going to be able to catch that Mercedes on the straight. And the Renault is getting closer.
Yeah, he's just within range as Nilsson has retired. It's not going to be enough to bring out a safety car, however, though out on track. Tekken is either slowing up or he's just being caught by Zero by second this last lap.
Well, 22,
so Zero
22 lap hearts. That could be something.
They wouldn't go off though. The 22 lap old hards, they wouldn't go off. Atlas Corporal's on 23.
Yeah.
And relatively speaking, they're still looking quite fresh. Paul, by the way, is now on the back and he's joined the battle for 3rd on the final lap of the race. You can put that down in your bingo books here tonight. Jeffrey is just about hanging on from Atlas Corporal. Atlas Corporal, slight mistake coming out of the banking, but Tekken leads 4.3 seconds. Now, here comes Paul on the back. Atlas Corporal's tyres are shot. This is Paul's opportunity to try and get him into a P3 position. Jeffrey is flying up the road though. As he runs wide, does Paul. Tekken leads 3.8 seconds. I think we'll have to go on board with the battle for the leader. Anyways, Tekken just a minute. But Paul McGinns is still fighting very hard. I don't think he's going to be close enough though. Salas 3 second time penalty.
I think he knows that he has that probably the guys ahead have penalties, but now we are with the racing point. The man that make a perfect race. He started from Paul, helped by that mistake from Paul, and he wins the race by 4 seconds at the moment.
5 second time penalty. Atlas Corporal.
There we go.
Paul 3rd. Paul in 3rd. I did say Atlas Corporal for a cheeky.
No.
I said for P3.
You copied me. You copied me. No. We put 0 for 3rd. Don't try to switch your prediction.
He finished 2nd anyway, so it would have been wrong.
Yeah. I mean, like it's not new that we've missed the prediction. I mean, if anyone thought that we were gonna actually get it right, come on. I mean, you know us. But
you know us. We are not. We are not miracle workers. We can't predict the future.
Exactly.
Maximus across the line, by the way, in 6th. He really gapped out Mays right at the end of the race. So good performance from him. Mays across the line in 7th. Invictus, he had a good race. He had a good qualifying session. Not really a good race, to be honest. Across the line, and Nathan Chomas is going to be coming across the line in 9th position. And that is it. Division 5 open done with. And my God, what a race again. but it is that man of the moment. 2 wins in a row. Tekken has taken the win, but your driver of the day, doing the, what's that? The lightning bolt, is Invictus.
Interesting pick from the game. I mean, I have to say that, no, actually, well, taking into account where he started and where he ended, I mean, it's not a bad choice, but yeah, we have to.
Oh.
For me, to be honest, if I have to pick someone, probably it would be either Atlas or Tekken.
You think? I think Paul deserves driver of the day, to be honest.
But he made a mistake.
He made a mistake, but he was, 8th, I think, coming out of the pit lane. And he's really driven a good race. On a set of mediums on a 1-stop. So, yeah, he gets my driver of the day vote. Tekken, though, has taken the win. First time, I think, we've had a pole sitter. Apart from, I think, Paul in round 1 in Australia, Tekken taking the win from pole position. Second time, I think, this season. So good performance from him. Atlas Copo in second. Paul in third. Penalties might get removed, so these are the official, unofficial results. Jeffrey finishing in 4th. Zero in 5th. Maximus in 6th. Mason 7th. Invictus from 15th on the grid, actually up to 8th. I did say he had a bad qualifying session. A good qualifying session. It was a bad one, but he finished 8th anyways. Thomas in 9th. Vanderlei rounding up the top 10. Salas, Day Miles, Nilsson, 4 laps down in the end. Nilsson, disastrous performance. NSR Storm, Tom, and I am nobody. Crashing out on lap 1, which brought out the early safety car.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, really good race. It has been exciting in different ways. To be honest, I didn't expect it. I didn't see that one coming. I mean, everything happened. Paul made a mistake. Then we had several battles. But yeah, probably I would give it an 8 out of 10, I have to say.
Yeah, I'm around the same mark, to be honest. I think that race was about a 7.5, I would say. We've had a lot of good battling out on track, but it all began to get a little bit messy. We had the 2 battles intertwined into one, with the bottom battle, essentially, and the guys fighting out for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. It just, with the ghosting system in this game, it's one of those scenarios where it's quite rare, but when it happens, it can really cost a few mistakes, and it did eventually for the bottom drivers who had to get out of the way. But in the meantime, Tekken took the win. Fantastic win from him, and he now extends his championship lead over Paul by a good 10 or so points. And I think fastest lap, by the way, went to Day Miles, if I'm not mistaken. So he gets the fastest lap point.
I was not able to catch it, but I think it was, yeah, I think it was an Alfa Romeo, so probably it was him. But yeah, exciting race. What's next week track? Do you have it there?
Let me have a look at the calendar for next week. We go from Zandvoort to Monaco. Oh no.
Brilliant.
Monaco next week, and that is for all divisions, of course. So Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, all divisions.
I think we're gonna have lots of familiar events, you know, like I cannot race because, you know, my aunt, you know, her birthday, so, you know, I have to be with the family. Yeah, I think I have to say, the drivers that actually race in Monaco, they are my heroes. You know, because we see a lot of people not racing because they just dislike it.
Well, do you see the 20 drivers in real life dislike Monaco? I know we haven't had it this season, but do you see those 20 drivers give up and quit in real life?
No, that's the thing.
So, to be honest, my advice is there's no excuse. Turn up, race, give your best. No matter if it is 19th position, no matter if it's 18th or 17th or anything like that, you still get points. And even if you're 5 laps down and you finish as a human car, you'll still get points. As simple as that. Stay in the race and get points. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, anything you want to add to this stream, to this marvelous live stream?
Obviously, with this going back on the TTML channel as well, I just want to give you guys an update about what is happening tomorrow, because we have got CRC tomorrow night from Now, you're really pushing my balls out here with trying to remember the track without me having a look at the Twitter. Let me have a look then at what we've got this week for TRC. I'll get there eventually. Just give us a second. I've got the calendar somewhere. Oh, there it is. It's in schedule. So, for this week, we are at Fuji. So, the Fuji Speedway in Japan will play host to round 11 of the championship. It might just be myself on commentary. It could be 007 Professional joining me alongside me in the commentary box as well. But what I can say is that in 2 weeks' time, there's going to be an announcement of a personal matter from me.
What will it be?
What will it be? You'll have to tune in to Dubai in 2 weeks' time. It's as simple as that.
Well, you heard him. Just keep tuned to whatever news come up and to see what games have to tell us. But yeah, this has been everything for today. Different live stream since it was in my channel, but as he said, this will be uploaded to the main one, to the League Racing TV, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And there's still more events to follow during the next days, as he explained. So thank you to everyone who have joined the live stream. To be honest, if you've been watching, just subscribe to my channel, but also to the TTE one. If you're not subscribed, give a like.
League Racing TV,
exactly.
If you want to subscribe, with the graphics, hopefully next week on Division 2 and Division 1 as well. As well as Division 4 tonight on the main channel.
So this has been everything for today. It has been me, of course, in the commentary box. My Twitter, PSuarez_19. Gameshead alongside me. Your Twitter is
at B52head.
There you go. So follow us on Twitter. Thank you for joining, and this has been everything for today. See you next week on Division 2 on what track was it? Monaco. Yeah.
Monaco, yeah.
See you in Monaco next week. Bye bye.
Bye everyone.